Tonight on KREM 2, we are continuing to track wildfires burning across the inland northwest, including a new one near Fairchild Air Force Base that prompted evacuations. Everything we know coming up.
A dry cold front could bring us some breezy winds this afternoon and evening, the impacts it could have, and when we could get a break.
The reality is that it's getting hotter.
The Spokane City Council is set to vote on the Renter's Right to Cooling ordinance, which, if passed, would require landlords to provide cooling equipment in at least one room. Where things stand a day before the vote. Good evening and thank you for joining us for KREM 2 News at 5 tonight. I'm Mark Hanrahan. We have been tracking the McFarland fire all afternoon out near Fairchild Air Force Base as the evacuation orders have been dropped completely from level 3. KREM 2's Emily Fox-Million live at the scene tonight. So Emily, what can you tell us at this hour?
Yeah, what was that level 3 go now evacuation has now been lifted. Crews telling me their #1 priority was just making sure they got residents out of harm's way. You can still see some crews behind me, just they're really dousing that dirt, making sure that we don't see any sparks or any flare up. And now I want you to take a look at this video from just a couple hours ago. Officials say the fire has now burned about 7.5 acres. The fire's forward movement has been stopped and crews, like I said, are continuing to extinguish any hot spots they find. There have been no reported injuries and damage has been limited to just the side of a barn. As of this afternoon, all evacuation orders have been lifted as those fire conditions continue to improve. We spoke with one family who said this was their 3rd evacuation of the summer and they've been doing all they can to get ready.
It's not our first time, it's actually our 3rd because we had 2 at our dad's house and then this is our 3rd. So we're just kind of used to it now.
Crews from across the region responded, including Airway Heights Fire, Spokane Fire District 3, and the Washington Department of Natural Resources. Like I said, for now, those firefighters will remain on scene, dousing any hot spots that they find near Medical Lake. Emily Fox-Million, KREM 2 News.
All right, Emily, thank you. Want to get to some of the other wildfires that we are continuing to track across the inland northwest. Evacuations have been lifted for the Little Baldy fire near the area north of Beacon Hill. As of 9:30 last night, that fire was 64 acres and 100% contained. There are still level 3 evacuations in Stevens County for the Bradeen Hill fire. This is burning near the Gifford area. So far, this fire has grown to more than 3,800 acres. It is 0% contained. Andy Gifford Road is closed and a Red Cross shelter is open at Jenkins High School in Chewelah. Small animals are allowed while large animals can be taken to Arden Rodeo Grounds. Officials are holding a community information meeting at the Addy Fire Station right now. The full recording will be available on the Stevens County Emergency Management Facebook page. The Modrod fire burning near Inchelium on the Caldwell Reservation has burned more than 10,000 acres. It's now 63% contained. Level 3 go now evacuations are in effect for the Kiowa and Rogers Bar areas. Level 1 be ready evacuations are in effect for the Apex and Stanger Mountain area as well. Also on the Caldwell Reservation, the Kaiser Canyon fire has burned more than 126,000 acres. It is now 16% contained. Level 3 go now evacuations are in place for the Haley Creek area along Highway 155, Owie Lake Empire Creek along Highway 21, and Armstrong Meadows east of Coyote Creek Road. Level 2 get set evacuations. They're in place east of Omak Lake, Moses Mountain, and the Nespelum area. All right, let's take a break from the headlines to get our first check at the forecast at 5 o'clock with meteorologist Cody Proctor. Cody, a bit cooler today, still kind of breezy out there though.
Yeah, ever since I've been out here, Mark, just within the last couple of minutes, the wind has just kind of come and it's kind of gone here and there. And when it's not blowing, it's rather warm out here, even though our temperatures are currently only in the mid 80s at this time, certainly cooler than what they were last week. And this is actually below our seasonal average of 87 degrees. But again, still a bit breezy right now. Winds coming out the southwest at 13 miles per hour over the Spokane airport. Temperatures are at 84. That relative humidity down into just the 20s. So it is dry outside. around our region. Those temperatures are mostly into the 80s at this moment. Lots of sunshine is being seen. That's continuing to dry out our vegetation around the region. Current wind speeds for us. We picked up those winds around Spokane, 20-mile-per-hour winds for Deer Park, 21 for Wenatchee, 16 for Omak at this time. Other parts of the region seeing lighter conditions at this time. We also had some gusty conditions at one point. Spokane, a 25-mile-per-hour wind gust, same for Coeur d'Alene, 37 for Wenatchee, 30 for Deer Park. So it has been gusty at times. These air quality alerts are still in effect right here, and this is new. This red flag warning is in effect for the Wenatchee area until about 9 o'clock tonight. You can see where it's impacting. For the next 12 hours for us here, we'll hang on to those 80s a little longer. We'll hang on to the breeze a little longer. Tomorrow should be a quieter start to the day, and we are looking at that next chance for some wind to move in as we get towards our weekend. The next few days, expect temperatures to be mostly in the 80s, climbing back up potentially in the low 90s by Friday. Why we're expecting that climb in temperatures coming up in your full forecast.
Cody, we'll talk to you then. Thank you very much. An inmate at the Okanagan County Corrections Facility died at the jail late last week. According to the Okanagan County Sheriff's Office, on Friday morning, deputies at the jail found the inmate unconscious in a housing unit. Deputies say they began life-saving measures and EMS was dispatched, but that inmate was later pronounced dead. The Sheriff's Office said the Okanagan County Coroner's Office will determine the cause and manner of the inmate's death at a later time. Meantime, an independent outside agencies will investigate the inmate's death, according to the Sheriff's Office. Also, breaking news at this hour, American Airlines has an update on that issue that previously grounded all flights, saying on their website that systems are coming back online and flights have begun to depart again.
It's gut-wrenching at best for an organization that wakes up every single day to serve these people and make sure that they have a safe place.
Still ahead on KREM 2 News at 5 tonight, a funding shortfall forcing a young adult shelter that 40 people rely on to close next month. Everything we know. And in 8 minutes before City Council's meeting tomorrow, we'll dive into the Renters' Right to Cool ordinance that would require landlords to provide cooling equipment in rental homes.